Yo, what up guys, Sammy Lee here from the Soul Brothers, and I got in the Under Armour Curry 303 yesterday or 2 days ago. It is $90, which is a very good price, very cheap. You know, I usually in my budget model shoes the cutoff is $120, so this is significantly cheaper than that. And yeah, so I mean his other 3.0 shoes, the 301 and the 2, I think it was like 110 bucks, so they are making it a lot cheaper. So yeah, if you guys want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. And let's get it started off with the traction. So the traction is a full-length herringbone. I guess the entire thing is basically herringbone. There are two colors. You know, there's this white part and there's two pods in the heel and in the forefoot, and it's colored red. If you look at the video, the close-up, I'm trying to move the red part with my fingernail, and it really doesn't move. If you see the white part, it's a lot softer. So it doesn't say anything on their website about it being dual density, but me feeling it, it feels like it is dual density, and the red parts are more durable, or maybe just a little bit harder of a rubber. And that's a good thing, because you know, in the forefoot right here, and also the heel right here is where the high wear area is. So obviously that's gonna be a lot better for durability. On the clean court, I played in these once yesterday and I was walking around in them, that's why it's so dirty. But on the clean court, it felt like it was really good. You know, there's absolutely no squeak. It's a very silent traction. But on the clean court, I was stopping really hard. Dust didn't really seem to be a problem, but I feel like maybe it was pretty clean yesterday. So we'll have to see, you know, when it's more dusty. And also durability seems really good, especially with these pods being harder density rubber. It feels like durability is gonna be good. So yeah, traction pattern, that seems really good. Moving on to the cushion. So the cushion is a full-length micro G, you know, cushion setup. And you know, as you guys know, micro G is really nice, but in their latest models of basketball shoes where they've been using micro G, it's been really bad. In the OG clutch fit drives, you know, with the full-length micro G, it feels different. When you're squishing it with your finger, it feels a lot softer, you know, in the clutch fit drives. This one, it just feels really stiff. So I don't know, I don't know what they did. Maybe they added a certain type of compound to it to make it a little bit more responsive or a little stiffer or something like that. But it doesn't feel great. I guess the court feels really good, especially in the forefoot. It's also good in the heel. It's very responsive because, you know, there's really no compression. I guess there is a little, if you look at the video, there is a little bit of compression in the heel. It's nothing crazy. The insole is just a regular insole. It doesn't feel very nice, actually, you know, like I guess I can't really complain because it is a $90 shoe, but you know, it doesn't feel like in their older shoes, like the clutch fit drive 2 and 3, they had really nice cushion insoles. This one isn't very nice. And yesterday I did play in these once, which was yesterday, and I did a really hard heel strike. I usually don't do heel strikes that much, but yesterday I did for some reason, and it was on my left foot, and I landed on it really hard, and I was like, ugh, that did not feel too good. So like impact protection doesn't seem good either. So yeah, the cushion setup, I mean, if for a guard, if you want a low to the ground, low profile, responsive cushion, it's gonna be good. But you know, it doesn't have a lot of compression, not a lot of bounce, not a lot of impact protection. So I mean, I'd say this cushion is just, it's you know, it's whatever. Alright, so there's the cushion there. Moving on to the materials. So the materials, you know, when I read it on the website, synthetic leather, I was like, really, in this day and age, synthetic leather? You know, you can make knits, textiles, very nice meshes for really cheap now, and you're using synthetic leather, right? But then I got it in and it feels really soft. You know, don't get me wrong, like it looks kind of cheap, and it crinkles and stuff like that, and it doesn't feel like the best quality leather, obviously. But like moving it around in hand like this feels really soft. You know, it's not stiff or anything. It's a pretty thin material also, and on foot it feels great. You know, it conforms to your foot really well. There's no pinching anywhere and stuff like that. You do have two flywire cables here on the lateral side in the toe, and I guess you can see the flywire through the perforations here, and it goes all the way down into the upper. So I guess is a kind of cool touch and does help with lateral containment and support. Also, you do have this underlying mesh material. Also not the best quality mesh material ever, but you know, it is a $90 shoe, so you can't really complain. It's really interesting because in the ankle area, it is so thin. Like it reminds me a lot of the Curry 6. Like in the Curry 5, the material, like the EM in the toe is actually really thin, but once you get into the ankle area, there's a lot of padding and it's very puffy. But in the Curry 6 and also in the Curry 303, it's just really, really thin. There is a little bit of padding, a very small amount of foam that's added. I guess it kind of acts like an Achilles pillow, but overall it's just throughout the entire upper, it's just super thin, very minimal feeling upper. And of course you do have this half booty construction, and you can open up the tongue a lot and you can just insert your foot in very, very easily. It's really easy to slide the shoe on, and I like this upper. It feels great, you know, especially for a $90 shoe. Even though it's not the greatest quality, it feels really soft, you know, so and great on foot. So there's the materials there. Moving on to the fit, I went true to size, and this shoe fits my foot perfectly. And I have a very thin and narrow foot, so it fits my foot pretty snug here. There's not a lot of toe space. It fits pretty narrow as well, so if you have a thick and wide foot, you should probably avoid getting the shoe or maybe go up half a size. But yeah, I went true to size and it fits my foot perfectly, and once I tied down the laces, my foot was just locked into the shoe and really wasn't going anywhere. So fit was great. Moving on to the support and lockdown, I guess you do have these flywire cables to cage you in for lateral containment, but you don't really have anything else to cage you in. You know, I guess the foam does come up here a little bit in the heel area, and also I guess maybe a little bit in the forefoot. And I feel like the synthetic material is a very supportive material, and that's gonna help contain your foot in. So lateral support seemed good, and I thought this material having no foam, like basically no foam, and it going straight up was gonna be very bad for heel containment, but it actually wasn't. Like once I put my foot in and tightened the laces down all the way, my foot was actually locked in and my heel was not slipping at all. And just look at this. Like, look at it when I'm squeezing this. There's absolutely nothing. There is a really small TPU heel counter, internal TPU heel counter, but it's just basically straight up material, which I really like. You know, they're trying to keep it as light and minimal as possible, and I think Curry just likes that. You do have this little mini outrigger, and it seems like it is a very wide base, and you are low to the ground, so you're gonna be laterally stable. Also, another thing I want to talk about is this little cut. You know how, I guess this is more of a low top slash mid. I don't know. I don't really know what to describe it as, but you know, most lows kind of like dip down in this area, you know, so it kind of goes like right underneath your ankle bone. But this type of cut, it goes over your ankle bone, and it's not like super stiff. But like when I first started playing in it, this was rubbing against my ankle bone and it was pretty uncomfortable. Of course, it's gonna break in, I'm pretty sure. But as of right now, that's feeling a little uncomfortable, and I wish they would have like put a little bit of a cut here. Moving on to the weight. So the weight of this shoe is 10.97 ounces. Really, really light. The average weight of my shoes is around 12.5 ounces. So this is a really light shoe. Very minimal feeling, and also it feels really responsive. You know, the traction seems good, support is good, fit is good, and the cushion is really responsive. So yeah, one of the lightest and most minimal feeling shoes out right now. Moving on to the ventilation, of course you have all of these perforations, you know, all these holes, I guess, in the upper, in the toe area, but like there is this underlaying material that is blocking it. It's not like totally air, you can't feel the airflow, like there is an underlaying material. So I feel like these perforations don't really do anything. I guess it does reduce weight a little bit. It says added perforations for better ventilation on their site, but it kind of really doesn't do that because they did add an underlying material. But anyways, so there's ventilation there. Moving on to the aesthetics. The aesthetics, I feel like this shoe looks great. You know, it looks great in the pictures, it looks great in hand, and it also looks really, really cool on foot in my opinion. I feel like whoever designed it did a great job on this shoe. Tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics on the Curry 303 down in the comment section below. But yeah, I mean, I guess from first impression slash first wear update, you know, I did play in this once yesterday. It seems like a very, very good performer, and only for 90 bucks. Hopefully the cushion does break in a little bit and get a little bit softer, but I kind of doubt that. But as of right now, I feel like it's gonna be in the best bang for your buck slash best budget models list, just from like a first impression standpoint. But yeah, again, if you guys want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next one. Peace.